Hello everyone, welcome. Let's continue with the spoiler for the GL Like a Palette series. To me, she's a cute, adorable, and mischievous girl with rosy cheeks, a little nuisance who brought a lot more color to what was previously my life. But these days, it seems like there are too many of those colors. She's going to be playing on her phone all day. Have you eaten yet? Wait a minute, I'm replying to a message. He frowned at the girl who used to drop everything to eat. Normally, no matter what she wanted, whether it was in the middle of a game or a midnight show, Jane always stopped thinking about food. But today, our special meal was cold, and she was busy replying to someone online she was talking to. He kept watching her, but Jane didn't even notice. She kept smiling and typing until after 2 minutes, she seemed to end the conversation. Then she locked her screen and put her phone aside. "Let's eat," she said. I confess that Jane's radiant smile and sweet voice melted me so easily that I ended up not mentioning my suspicions at the time. I guess I'm a little too nice to that girl. She just started eating and served me the first spoonful, and that was all it took to erase my frown. I'm a junior now, and she's a junior. It's been a long time since we met and started dating, so it's natural that there are a lot of people in Jane's life and that she's grown close to others. I try to remember that constantly, but a few days later, I realized I have my silly side too, even though I'm the older one. That day, I went to find Jane, who was organizing an activity for the first years. She'd been waiting for me on her motorbike and texted me asking for 5 more minutes. Then she ran inside and nudged a first-year girl. She had a pretty, cheerful face, but she wasn't as pretty as my Jane. They seemed really close. She even laughed a little during our conversation. Even though it lasted less than a minute, believe me, something inside me felt off. If I'm not mistaken, the girl's name is Kim, a freshman I mentor. Back then, Jane posted a picture on her social media and mentioned that she had to give this girl candy without revealing her identity. The day she finally revealed her identity, Jane even joked that she probably hadn't been convincing because the girl said she already knew it was her. I guess I have to keep an eye on that girl now. "Your freshman is really cute, isn't she?" I said. As soon as Jane arrived and took the helmet to put it on, I couldn't help but bring it up. I was hoping she'd explain that it was nothing, but Jane is always Jane. "Yeah, Kim is really cute," she replied with her usual smile. I wish she realized what she says sometimes. I took a breath and decided to say nothing. Then I took my girl back to our love nest. I barely slept that night. I watched her face as she slept, but not for long because she stirred and snuggled up to me for warmth. My heart softened in that moment, even in my sleep. That girl is so cute. Okay, I'll worry about that freshman another day. Tonight, I'll just cuddle my sweetheart and go to sleep. She's truly irresistible. The following week, my life was invaded by worries, especially with all the projects the professors assigned, which left my head spinning. My routine consisted of going back and forth to university and working in my room with little time to pick up or drop off Jane, as she was busy. She understood. She went to her motorcycle lessons alone since our schedules didn't align. But that girl named Kim, the freshman who now seemed to be always near my girl, kept stalking her. Until one day, Jane texted me, "Di, I'll be back a little later today, okay? You're going out with your friends, right?" "Yes, with Kim." I haven't had dinner yet. Jane's going to have dinner with her? I'm already being very patient. "Then I'll pick you up at 8. "No, don't come," said Jane. "How will you get here, Day? I have your motorcycle. I could always look for you. Just tell me where you are." And then Jane disappeared for an hour without messages or replies. I was so worried I could barely concentrate on work. My brows were practically furrowed. I wanted to call him and ask where he was, but my pride wouldn't let me seem like a clingy girlfriend. After all, he'd said he'd be back late. If I insisted, I'd just come across as a pest. I knew he was with that girl, the freshman. They seemed so close, too close. It made me jealous. That girl, Kim, managed to get Jane, who loves to eat, to ignore her favorite pasta. Food is the most important thing to her, but that freshman is more important. And then what? Jane returned at 8:30 p.m., looking exhausted. I stopped pretending to be the understanding girlfriend and asked her directly, loudly, "Where did you go with that girl?" "Why do you sound a little nasty?" she asked. "I'm not happy about your freshman." "Why?" "I just went to Kim's." Oh my God. And in all of this, where am I supposed to find satisfaction? It's a secret, but I'll tell you someday. For now, I'll keep it to myself. Is that fair? I watched her reaction. Isn't it enough to just annoy someone? But Jane had that playful expression and even rubbed her face against my arm before grabbing a towel. My burning heart calmed a little, though it wasn't completely calm, but it was better. I decided to let it go this time since she'd warned me beforehand and acted so cute as soon as she got home. Besides, I was busy with a project on my laptop. If I didn't hand it in by 9 a.m. the next morning, it would be a problem. So I didn't bring it up, but I kept watching Jane as she stepped out of the shower wrapped in a towel and wearing a t-shirt. She fell asleep as soon as her head hit the pillow. From what I could see, she had a meeting with the sophomores today to plan the freshmen's trip next week, plus a full schedule of evening classes, and I know she was still at the freshmen's house after all. If it weren't for that last detail, she'd come back for a nice meal and be with me. But I really don't like that girl named Kim. If something like that happens again, I don't think I'll be able to contain my displeasure. And unbelievably, the day I dreaded arrived just 2 days later. Jane texted me saying she had something important to do. I assumed it was college-related, so I even ordered fried chicken to wait for her. But while scrolling through social media, I saw a post from just 15 minutes ago. She'd added a story, a picture of her cooking with the freshmen. What was that all about? I ordered Jane's favorite kind of fried chicken to celebrate our 2nd anniversary, but now she's in somewhere with someone I don't even know. I called her immediately. After a few rings, she answered, but she seemed busy. Before I could ask her anything, she said, "I'll be right back. Just wait a bit, okay?" This time, as lovely as her voice is, I'm not going to let this go. We need to have a serious talk. She hung up and I started pacing my room, trying to think of what to say when I saw her. I didn't want to come across as angry, but I also wanted to make it clear that I was a little irritated. Jane is an innocent girl. If I don't get straight to the point, she might not even understand what I mean. Just like at the beginning of our relationship, when I was practically trying to win her over, I still didn't like her, so I needed to be direct. I had to tell her how I felt, explain why, and ask for an explanation. About 20 minutes later, I heard 2 knocks on the door, followed by Jane's voice saying she was coming in. I stopped pacing and stood still, ready to face the girl who was about to walk through the door. Jane came in with a smile, holding a bright pink box, but I didn't care. I already had exactly what I was going to say planned as soon as the door closed and we were face to face. In the next videos, we'll continue with more spoilers for the series. Take good care of yourselves and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye!